Hi friends, it's Amy. Welcome to my channel. Today I have part 2 of my library book sale haul. Now, the first 2 days of the library book sale were everything is $1. Today we had $5 for a bag, fill it up, $1 for every bag after that. So I did end up getting one full bag and I threw some more bags into another bag. I threw some books into another bag just so that it'd be easier to carry. So I did pay $6 for all these books I'm going to tell you about. But let me tell you, I think that it was well worth it. So some of these will be read and send on to the next reader. Some of these might become favorites and stay where they are. And of course, some of these are just for my classroom. So let's get to it. Today, I was thinking it through a little bit more and I divided the books into more groups than last time. So this time I have them divided into for my classroom versus for my bookshelves. And then the books for my classroom, I have divided up into the different reasons that I purchased them. So first of all is the author pile. So this first book is Flying Lessons and Other Stories by a whole slew of authors. And Kwame Alexander, Kelly J. Baptiste, Jacqueline Woodson, Grace Lynn, Walter Dean Myers, just to name a few. This is a wonderful collection of stories. I've had some of my students check it out from the library and really liked it. And it's a good book. I put the cover back on, upside down. It's a good book to have on hand if I am between read-alouds. I could take this book and I could read one of the stories in here instead of having a long novel to read. Or one of my students might want to take it off the shelf and read all the stories. So I just thought, I've seen this book before. It would be a good thing to have in my classroom. This next one is The Crossroads by Chris Grabenstein. And Chris Grabenstein co-wrote the I Funny series with James Patterson, and he wrote Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library. And I think that's the same guy. I might be wrong. It might be a totally different person, but how many Chris Grabensteins can there be? I don't know. So this is looks kind of like a scary horror type thing. Have you ever seen a face hidden in the bark of a tree and known that the man trapped inside wanted to hurt you? Is on the back. There's a ghost, a really nasty ghost, a ghost who kills people, and Zach is on his list. Zach, the main character. This was an absolute author grab. I love Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library. A lot of my students love Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library. A lot of my students love the I Funny series. This doesn't sound very funny, but if it has the imagination of Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library, I think it's going to be a good one. So I have a lot of horror lovers in my classroom, so we'll see if that trips anybody's fancy. This next one is another author by. This is The Danger Box by Blue Balliet, and I love her series Chasing Vermeer. I love that series. It's full of puzzles and mystery, and I just love it. A boy in a small town who has a different way of seeing. A curious girl who doesn't belong. A mysterious notebook. A missing father. A fire. A stranger. A death. These are some things you'll find within The Danger Box, the new mystery from best-selling author Blue Balliet. The next 3 are all from the author Tim Green. This is Perfect Season. This is First Team, and this is Force Out. Tim Green writes a lot of sports novels, so my sport enthusiast readers in my classroom really latch on to the Tim Green books, and he has a really great way of writing according to them. I am hoping at some point to read my first Tim Green book. I haven't yet though, but these are usually can't miss books for my kiddos. So this one says, when a single spot on the baseball team forces two friends to compete for the first time, there's going to be a force out. This one is a football genius novel. So this is actually a series, part of a series that he does with a main character named Troy. It'll take all of Troy's football genius to turn this team's seasons around. And first team is about somebody who wants to make first team in football. So, all right, and then the last one that I got based on the author is also based on the fact that I loved this book. I really enjoyed listening to it, and it was narrated by the author, and the author is Jason Siegel. So this is Nightmares by Jason Siegel. So this is actually the CD audiobook. This is about a young boy named Charlie Laird. He has several problems. His dad married a woman he's sure moonlights as a witch. He had to move into her purple mansion, which is not a place you want to find yourself after dark. And he can't remember the last time sleeping wasn't a nightmarish prospect, like even a nap. So any time that he lays down to sleep, he is in his nightmares, and his worst nightmares start to come true. It's a really fun story, a great ride. I really enjoyed it. So, Nightmares by Jason Siegel and Kristen Miller. And then you guys, oh my gosh, if you saw my first part one of my library haul, you saw that I got the Penderwicks without the nice cover. The dust jacket was gone, and I was sad about it. Well, I'm sad no more, because check it out. It's the first Penderwicks with the cover. It's not even a dust jacket. It's a printed on cover. That's awesome. I'm really excited about this. So I'll be able to take the other one, and I'll probably donate it back to the book sale. And this is the first book in the Penderwick series. Another series that I like to collect is the Theodore Boone series by John Grisham. This is his middle grade series about a young boy named Theodore Boone who wants to be a lawyer. And I like this series. There are different things that I don't like about this series. For one thing, I think the school is set up really weird, and I don't like that. There's just a couple other things that he mentions that feel a little problematic to me. However, when I do have students that are reading these books, I have conversations with them about those kinds of things. So I'll be like, well, what do you think about how they set up the school system? And they're like, that's kind of interesting. And I was like, yeah, it is kind of interesting. Do you think that would work here? I don't know if that would, I mean, it's nice to have those kinds of conversations with kids. So it's nice that I have knowledge of the series, that I'm able to talk to them about those couple things that I find problematic, and I'm still able to enjoy the story behind it, and they can still enjoy the story behind it. This is the 7th book in the series. Actually, this is like the latest book in the series. This is a brand spanking new. It's not even a library copy of the series. I think it came out 2 years ago. Yeah, 2019. So that's really awesome. And then this is the 6th one in the series. So I'm just kind of slowly, as I find the Theodore Boone books, I'm just kind of picking them up to put in my classroom. Yeah, so I have 1, 6, and 7 at this point. And then I saw this one, and I just hauled the first one from a thrift store. And this, I guess, I thought it was the second one, but it turns out it's the third one. So depending on how this series, the Urban Outlaws series, is perceived, maybe there'll be some kids that want to read some more books in that series. So I picked it up and put it on in my bag. All right, so my next couple books I picked up because they are Newbery Award winners or honors. And the first one is The Higher Power of Lucky by Susan Patron. This book has a young girl named Lucky who has a guardian named Brigitte. And Brigitte is supposed to be her guardian, but she wants to move back to France. So she's sure that she's going to get sent off to an orphanage and decides that she has to run away. And what she really is searching for a lot is what her purpose is in life. What is the meaning of life, and what is her purpose in life? It is a very fun book. It's been a couple years since I've read it, so I don't remember a lot about it, but I do remember liking it. And I remember thinking that Lucky was a wonderful character, and she's 10 years old, so my 5th graders might think this is worth a read. My 5th graders especially might think this is worth a read. So that's The Higher Power of Lucky by Susan Patron. And then this is a Newbery Honor book, and I want to say it's a fairly recent. Just kidding, it's not. 2009. This is Where the Mountain Meets the Moon by Gracelyn. This is a brand new book. When I open it, it's just great. And it's full color. Like there's full color illustrations. Oh, there's one. I just saw it. There. Full color illustrations. This says, young Min Lee lives in the valley of Fruitless Mountain, where her and her parents spend their days working hard in the fields. At night, Min Lee listens to her father's tales about the old man of the moon, who knows the answer to everything. Min Lee sets out on a quest to find the old man of the moon. He will know how she can bring good fortune to her family. Along the way, she meets many magical friends, including a talking fish, a powerful king, and a dragon who can't fly. It just sounds adorable. It's a Newbery Honor book, and just had to pick it up. The next one, these 3 are all grabs that I just kind of grabbed, and I don't really know what they're about. This first one is Step Up to the Plate, Maria Singh by Uma Krishnaswamy. This says, Maria Singh longs to play softball. The spring of 1945 and World War II keeps dragging on. 9-year-old Maria Singh's life revolves around school, scrap metal drives, and practicing her pitching, just in time for her teacher to form the first ever girls softball team at their school in Yuba City, California. I do have quite a few girls that really enjoy reading sports books, and they're kind of always looking for, do you have any sports books that star girls? So this is one that does, for sure. So that was kind of why it caught my eye. It also caught my eye as a historical fiction book. And, the price was right. So there's that. This is Zora and Me. And Zora and Me, The Cursed Ground. I have no idea what these are about, but I saw them right next to each other and they looked like they belonged together. And so I just put them in my bag. So it says, just as stories guard the pictures of selves and words we cherish the most, sometimes we have to defend our stories. When a young man's body is found out by the railroad tracks, the murder and its mysterious circumstances threaten the peace and security of a small Florida town. Zora believes she knows who killed Ivory, and isn't afraid to tell anyone who will listen. Whether Zora is telling the truth or sketching it, she's a riveting storyteller. Her latest tale is especially mesmerizing because it is so chillingly believable. A murderous, shape-shifting gator man, half gator, prowls the marshes nearby, aching to satisfy his hunger for souls and beautiful voices. And Ivory's voice, when Ivory sang, his voice was as warm and honey and twice as sweet. So that's Zora and Me. It is a Coretta Scott King Award winner. And it seemed like this went along with it. Yeah, this is Zora and Me by Victoria Bond and T.R. Simon. And this is Zora and Me, The Cursed Ground by T.R. Simon. It says, Zora was right. History wasn't just something you read in a book. It was everything your life stood on. We who thought we were free from the past were still living it out. So, there you go. All right, so those are the ones for my classroom. And let's see. They're slippery. Ooh. All right, so these are for my classroom. That's a lot. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 for my classroom. And then I did find a couple for me, for my shelves. I say a couple, but it's really 2 couples. I found 4. So the first one is The Nightingale by Kristen Hannah. I don't know anybody who hasn't heard of this book, and I've heard of very few people that haven't read this book, but I am one of them that has not read this book. So when I saw it, I thought I would put it in my bag. The next is Midwives by Chris Bohjalian. I don't know how to pronounce his name. But I saw him in an interview with the Friends and Fiction ladies, and he was just the most interesting person to listen to at that moment. I was enthralled by what he had to say. He talked about all the research that he does for his novels and things like that. And I just happened to find this book that was written by him, so I thought I would give it a shot. The book that he was talking about more, he talked about this one a little bit, but the one he was talking about more was his newest one, The Hour of the Witch, which sounds super interesting. This is Midwives. He talked a little bit about it. So the next one was The Friday Night Knitting Club by Kate Jacobs. And I picked this one up because I saw it on Tuesday when I was at the sale, and I didn't pick it up. I went over and looked at it 3 times, and I didn't pick it up. And it was still there today. So I picked it up. This is once a week, an eclectic group of women comes together at New York City at a New York City yarn shop to work on their latest projects and share the stories of their lives. At the center of Walker and Daughter is the shop's owner, Georgia, who is overwhelmed with juggling the store and single-handedly raising her teenage daughter. Happy to escape the demand of her life, she looks forward to her Friday night knitting club, where she and her friends, Anita, Perry, Darwin, Lucy, and Casey, exchange knitting tips, jokes, and their deepest secrets. But when a man who once broke Georgia's heart suddenly shows up demanding a role in their daughter's life, her world is shattered. Luckily, George's friends are there for encouragement, sharing their own tale of intimacy, heartbreak, and miracle making. And when the unthinkable happens, these women will discover what they've created isn't just a knitting club, it's a sisterhood. It gives me kind of Secret Book and Scone Society vibes, where you have this tight-knit group of ladies who support each other no matter what. And I mean, just kind of felt like it was calling to me. So the price was right. And then the last one is The 13th Gift by Joanna Huist Smith. A true story of a Christmas miracle. This book, actually, I had checked out once from the library, and I didn't get a chance to read it. I returned it, and so I saw it, and I thought I would pick it up. So this is, after the unexpected death of her husband, Joanne Huist Smith had no idea how she would keep herself together and be strong for her 3 children, especially with the holidays approaching. The cheerfulness of the season made her feel more alone than ever, no matter how much she wanted to reach out to her children and find some way to comfort them. But 13 days before Christmas, a poinsettia appears on the Smith's doorstep. So I just thought this sounded really good as well. So those are the 4 books that I purchased for my physical shelf. And now I think I need to take off. And now I think I need to take a little bit of a break from getting books to put on my shelves. So I'm going to go get reading. Did you see anything that you liked or have read or would like to read, or have any other opinions that you would like to share with me? I would love to hear them down in the chat. As always, happy reading. Bye.